Hello everyone. I wanted to make a new announcement today to everyone that I'm going to be starting a new bank. The new bank is going to be called the Bank of Rick. Now you might say, why would you want to be starting a new bank? We got plenty of banks already. Well, this isn't a bank that you would invest your money in. It's a bank that I'm going to use to take over the whole world. So you might say, well, why do you need a bank to take over the whole world? What's going on, Rick? Well, let me tell you what's going on in the world. The economic systems are collapsing. You can see this best of all over in Europe, where there's too much debt to be paid off, and the central banks are stretched because they can't come up with enough money to pay off all the debts that are there. So you see the individual sovereign countries collapsing. Um, they can't pay off their debts, their interest rates are going up, and the only way to counteract this problem is to either inflate the currency of all the nations or to allow the countries to go bankrupt. Well, we're not going to allow countries to go bankrupt because we have investments in the European Union that it should stay the same as it is. So the countries are just in bad shape because they're going to go bankrupt, and other countries are tired of bailing them out. And this has happened in the United States in somewhat a similar fashion. We have $14 trillion in debt that we can't pay back, and it's just increasing. So at some point, the whole economic system will collapse because all the banks that are holding the bonds will not be able to pay off those bonds. So the people that are holding the bonds will lose all their money. So the banks will essentially go bankrupt. This will start to cascade, and the whole world will be in a panic. Somebody's going to need to step in and to save the world from the catastrophe that's coming. And that's what this tape is all about. I'm the person that's going to step in and save the whole world. Now, you may think, well, why would I allow you to save the world? Why do I want you to save the world? Well, when your money becomes worthless, you're going to want somebody to come in and give you money to feed you. Your dollar bills won't be worth anything anymore, so you'll be hungry and you'll be out in the streets. All the poor people will be out in the streets, and they'll want a solution. I'm going to step in. You say, well, what are you going to do to feed the whole world? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the old money and create a new currency. Well, what is this currency going to look like? It's going to be, first of all, it's going to be an entire world currency. Everybody in the world is going to use the same currency, and it's going to be printed by me. And I will dole out the currency. You can exchange your old currencies for some of my new currency, and you will be able to use my new currency to go in and buy food and the necessities of life. And you might say, well, I don't think we're ever going to get to that point where we need you to print our money, Rick, and that we're going to have to rely on you just for our food. And the only thing I have to say is wait and see, because it's coming. And it's not as far away as you think. So this is how I'm going to go about it. First of all, the only thing I'm going to require in return for money, first of all, is just that you exchange all your old money for the new money. This is what the new money is going to look like right here. If you can see that, it's going to have a picture of me on it, because I'm going to be in control of everything. You'll be happy, don't worry, I'll take care of you. And as long as you go along with my system. Now, what is this money going to be called? First of all, the bank that prints the money, is the bank of the whole world, is going to be called the Riksbank. This kind of sounds like a little bit like Reichsbank, but it's really going to be Riksbank. This, as I said, is what the money's going to look like. And this is going to be called the Riksmark. As it sounds, again, it sounds like Reichsmark, but it's going to be called Rick. I'm just changing that a little bit, Riksmark. And don't think that mark means anything like, you know, how the conspiracy theorists think a mark of the beast. Don't think that that means anything like that. And so the money will be called Riksmark. One thing that I had considered calling this was the Rick's ticket instead of money, because money is kind of like a ticket. You know, you print it up, it gets you something. But too many people thought that sounded like a ricket, and that sounds like a disease. And we don't want the money to people to think the money's a disease. So we're not going to use ricket. We're going to use Riksmark. Now, I'm going to issue you this currency. You're going to be able to spend it. We're also going to have credit cards and stuff like that based on Riksmarks. But eventually, what's going to happen is, well, you know how like when you get on a plane now, how like they search you and everything, and they make sure that you're the right person. Well, that's kind of the way it's going to be like going to the grocery store. They're going to have to prove who you are. Once they know who you are, then you'll be able to go and buy anything that you want or you need. But you're going to have a mark that they're going to put on you, and you're going to go in and show them that mark, and that way they'll know that you've switched over to the new currency and that you can come in and do anything, buy anything that you want. So it's going to work really well. And all you hungry people out there, when this world economy collapses, you're going to be really grateful to me, because I'm just going to take over and I'm going to make everything real good for you. You're going to, be happy. All the wealth will be distributed equally so that you'll all have enough. And I'm going to be generous, I promise. All you'll have to do is to just agree to be in the system, okay, in the RIC system. Okay, as long as you agree to be in that system, everything's going to be okay. So I want you to be looking forward to this in the future, because this is what is coming down the road. I'm waiting in the wings to step in and offer my services to the government. Which, oh, by the way, not only am I going to offer my services to provide you money and food, but I'm going to provide the government's money to take care of you. Okay, so this is a benevolent organization. We're going to provide for everyone, make sure everyone's happy. All those people that are in need, there ain't going to be any marching in the streets. And you'll just be able to look to me, and you'll realize what I really am, and that is the Savior of the world. And you'll be able to look to me and say, thank you, Rick. Thank you for your Riksmark. Thank you for the Riksbanks. Thank you for providing for me.